Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
What Melania Trump instantly did when she saw this baby suffering brought the hospital staff to tears. Our First Lady is as gorgeous as they come, but many don't realize that her soul is unbelievably beautiful as well. The world saw just how incredible Melania Trump is yesterday when she took the time to visit a drug recovery center for infants. Lily's Place, the first of its kind in the nation, works with addicted mothers' newborns who are enduring the torment of drug withdrawal. There was one touching moment during the tour of the recovery center that even took the hospital staff by surprise. While everyone else was making their rounds, Mrs. Trump saw a newborn baby suffering in its crib. The sight must have been too much for her to bear because Mrs. Trump quietly separated from the group to tend to the baby. Melania instantly wrapped the baby and held it close until the little one drifted off to sleep peacefully. No one told her to do it, and the light was too dim for her to be looking for a photo op. Our First Lady just saw an innocent life that needed love and she provided it without hesitation. Luckily, despite the poor lighting, someone snapped a picture anyway and captured the touching moment for us to see. Mrs. Trump later spoke in private with two families currently enrolled at the facility. It is my hope that we can find ways to create more of the opportunities afforded by places like Lily's Place, so that we can continue to help infants and children grow into happy, healthy adults, the First Lady said. I'm so proud to have such an amazing woman in our White House. God bless Melania Trump for the wonderful work she is doing to help those in need. Backstabber Marco Rubio just did something awful for Trump's worst enemy. It's been a while, but it looks like Marco Rubio is back in business and this time, instead of helping Trump, he is out to get him. That's at least what it looks like from the voters' perspective after he flew out to Scottsdale, Arizona just to give a glowing endorsement of anti-Trump Senator Jeff Flake. The high-end lunch ran $100 to $500 per plate and was all praises for Senator Flake. Rubio was one of the leading voices in the choir. Flake has dedicated the last 2 years exclusively to opposing Trump. He even published a book this year called Conscience of a Conservative, which was essentially him attacking the president for ending the age of Bush Republicans. At this point, I would go as far as saying that John McCain is more of an ally for President Trump than Jeff Flake is, and McCain is not a friend of the president. Marco Rubio tries to play both sides of the field constantly. That's fine, let him do that. What we can do is get the word out and show the world Rubio's flopping around like a fish out of water. Herman Cain just made a very bold prediction about 2020 election. Some people will hate it. Successful businessman Herman Cain made a name for himself on the national political stage when he ran for president in 2008. Even though his bid was unsuccessful, the traction that Cain did get helped pave the way for outsider Donald Trump's victory 8 years later. Cain has been watching the current political situation closely, and just made a prediction about what the Republican Party is going to do in the 2020 election. Stated the Godfather's Pizza CEO during an interview on Fox Business, I don't believe any of the GOP people are going to try to run against Donald Trump to take him out. They're just going to probably try to work against him, like many of them are doing right now. Cain says he is ready to help Trump win again in 2020, and that he has been keeping an updated list of Rhinos for the public's knowledge on his website. Said Herman, we are keeping track of the Republican Rhinos on health care, the Republican Rhinos on the tax bill, and we're going to keep a rolling list of all of the Republicans in name only so we can share it with the public. He went on, many of these Republicans, they believe that their constituency has short memories. Some of them do, but we don't, and we're going to make sure people know how. On these big issues, that the public cares about, many of them did not support the president. Do you think Cain is right about the Republican establishment's plans for 2020? Hypocrite Kimmel refuses to talk about Weinstein, then disturbing flashback video is released. ABC's resident know-nothing late-night TV host, Jimmy Kimmel, loves to attack some President Trump. He thinks it's his job. It's not. His job is to entertain Americans, not just the left, in order to make money for the company he works for. Like every other late-night host, Kimmel has pretty much refused to acknowledge Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein's sex scandal. He has largely remained silent on the issue. Weinstein is, of course, a big donor of the Democrat Party. Kimmel supports the Democrat Party. Harvey has now been accused of rape by 3 women, as well as inappropriately touching multiple others. Maybe this disturbing flashback of Kimmel asking women to figure out what's in his pants is why Jimmy now chooses to remain silent? Sheesh, Jimmy. Have anything to say about this, since you mock Trump for being a womanizer but say nothing about Weinstein the sexual deviant? Kimmel had the ghost of Frank Sinatra show up to insult Trump on his show recently. Kimmel asked Sinatra's Rat Pack era ghost about Trump. That guy, Sinatra's ghost replied. He's a doobie-doobie douchebag, and Weissman's account is accurate but incomplete. To illustrate his feelings, he sang a familiar song, aided by a friendly ghost. The NSFW parts are bleeped out, baby. Watch below. Peter Weber. With one sentence, Trump just said the one thing that NBC didn't want him to. U.S. President Trump praised the prospect that the media licenses for NBC and other news networks should be revoked for their terrible reporting. On Wednesday, NBC reported that Trump wanted to boost America's nuclear arsenal by tenfold. He then tweeted at the following, "Fake news made up a story that I wanted a tenfold increase in our U.S. nuclear arsenal. Pure fiction, made up to demean. NBC equals CNN." In a follow-up tweet, he said the following, "With all of the fake news coming out of NBC and the networks, at what point is it appropriate to challenge their license? Bad for country." Walter Schaub, who led the U.S. Office of Government Ethics under Obama, tweeted the following. "At what point? At the point when we cease to be a democracy. Here's the answer to that idiot. We aren't a democracy." According to NBC, Trump told people at a meeting at the Pentagon in July that he wanted to boost American stockpile of atomic missiles. Share this if you would love for the press to finally get some of their own crap. They cannot keep putting out untrue information. We are starting to get into war and they are becoming very quickly the enemy of America. Cover-up Debbie Wasserman Schultz just got the worst news ever in House IT investigation. We have been reporting on Debbie Wasserman and her IT staffer, Imran Awan, and his colleagues, for some time now. It's a huge scandal and it's been remarkable how little the mainstream media has reported on it. It's finally getting some traction, however. Several House Republicans, all members of the Freedom Caucus, just held a meeting to interview witnesses about the ongoing investigation. Luke Krosiak of the Daily Caller told them, misinformation, in both directions, has flourished as a result of an extraordinary level of silence from official channels surrounding the falsified billing and cybersecurity breaches on Capitol Hill. There are reasons to suspect that this secrecy is not because vigorous action is being taken behind the scenes. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton told them, "We allowed this group to run amok in the House, take all this data and move it around. Lack of interest from both House leadership and executive branch. This group is Pakistani Imran Awan and his family members who, among other things, made unauthorized access to a congressional server 5,400 times, as reported by the Washington Post. But you see how they poo-poo the whole thing and Wasserman Schultz's potential complicity. Pennsylvania Representative Perry, R., said this: "My concern is the wife goes, she's got 14 grand in cash. She's allowed to leave the country. And I'm just concerned that, we have a Justice Department, FBI, we have certain laws. I mean, you look at the Mueller investigation. Picking Manafort's lock in the middle of the night, drawing guns on him, his wife, for some white-collar infraction 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, that's like scorching the earth. If you're disgusted by the cover-up and glad someone is finally paying attention, please share." H.T. The Daily Caller. Right after Roger Goodell caved, Trump did something totally unexpected for the NFL. After realizing that football fans cared more about their country than watching sports, Roger Goodell finally caved on the issue of players taking a knee during our national anthem. Ever since this disgusting trend began last year, our president has been fighting his heart out on this matter. President Trump has consistently been standing up for our military even when players, coaches, and even Roger Goodell unfairly attacked him. It's clear now that President Trump won this fight. Yesterday, Goodell sent a statement out to all 32 teams telling them that they need to stand during our national anthem. Like many of our fans, Goodell wrote, "We believe that everyone should stand for the national anthem. It is an important moment in our game. We want to honor our flag and our country, and our fans expect that of us." This morning, President Trump took to Twitter to tell Goodell that it's about damn time. It is about time that Roger Goodell at the NFL is finally demanding that all players stand for our great national anthem, respect our country. Fools like Roger Goodell should know by now that our president is not going to let you get away with disrespecting our military. President Trump took a lot of heat for his stance on this issue, but he never gave up the fight. Maybe Roger Goodell will think twice next time before taking on our commander-in-chief.